Again, I did want to speak with you because I recently had Noam Chomsky back on the show. And the first time that you were on the show, you had said that you would like to debate him. I guess we're still kind of working on that to see if a meeting is possible, if any kind of discussion or debate would be possible. But I did want to discuss his response to your question. And essentially what you had asked was, don't you believe in the consent of a worker to accept lower wages? Why do you need laws to get involved in the employer-employee relationship?
He says, you lefties favor sexual and other acts between consenting adults. Why not also capitalist acts between consenting adults, like hiring someone for $6 an hour less than the minimum wage? You think that's exploitative, but if the worker agrees, that's the best opportunity that he sees for himself. Ditto sweatshop labor, ditto using money. You call yourself an anarchist and yet would have the government prohibit by law these things.
First of all, consent is a very curious notion. It's well understood all the way back in the tradition of classical liberalism, James Mill, John Stuart Mill, others, that hiring yourself, renting yourself to someone essentially is temporary slavery. Now, do you consent to that? Well, if the choice is starving, yes, probably you consent to it. But that's a curious kind of consent. You have to look at the conditions under which people make agreements. If there's an enormous disparity of power between the owner and the person renting himself, and under those conditions, to talk about consent is a joke. It's like saying, if I'm holding a big club and you're over there, and I say, I want you to lie down on the floor, and your choice is either I'll lie down on the floor or I'll have my head smashed by a club. Yeah, you consented to lie down on the floor, but do we take that seriously?
So what would be your response to what Noam Chomsky said to your question?
Well, in a sense, I sort of agree with him. I'm a rich man, Steve, you're a poor man, and the reason you're poor is I stole all your money. And now I'm trying to buy your shirt for $30.
Okay.
Well, this is improper. And it's improper, it's unequal, whatever, because I stole your money. Now, suppose I'm just very rich because, I don't know, I won the lottery or I invented steel or God knows what, and you're very poor because you didn't win the lottery and you didn't invent anything. And now you have a shirt for $30 and I buy your shirt. Well, I don't see, just because I'm rich and you're poor, that I'm somehow exploiting you. Very much on the contrary, I'm benefiting you because you value the $30 more than your shirt, and I value the shirt more than the $30. Now, even if I stole money from you in the first place and that's why you're poor, well, then it's still voluntary if you ignore that. And the problem then is not so much with our trade, it's that I stole your money. So I'm against stealing money. But suppose, we never had anything to do with each other. We're total strangers, just I'm very rich and you're very poor. Well, there's mutual gain. The other year, or last year, I bought a computer from Microsoft, and Bill Gates has got a lot more money than me. Does that mean it wasn't consensual? Bill said, hey, Walter, you want to buy a computer for $500? I said, whoa, $500? Yes, I'll buy it. I valued it more than $500. And he valued it less than $500. He had a lot of computers around there. Does that mean it was not consensual? Look, I could have bought a computer for some other company, or I could have gone without. Bill didn't have a gun on me and said, hey, Walter, if you don't buy the computer, I'm going to shoot you. Then it would not be consensual. But Bill did no such thing. You did no such thing when you sold me that shirt. So I have to respectfully disagree with Professor Chomsky. And I say respectfully, because I do revere him, not just admire him, but revere him in other contexts, very important contexts. First of all, I met him when I was studying for my master's degree in philosophy.
I didn't know you actually had met him in the past.
No, I had met his writing. I never met him.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
But I came across him. I misspoke, thanks for your correction, as a linguist, and he was magnificent. And then I read him a lot over the years on foreign policy, and again, he is a non-interventionist. He's sort of a Ron Paul type, and again, I revere him on that. And the most recent thing that he did, which I thought was magnificent, was there's this guy, Gilley, I think is his name, a guy from Portland State University, who wrote an article saying that colonialism was good, and the neo-colonialism, after the whites left Africa, was bad. for the black people. And there was a hue and cry, this is not exactly politically correct. And Professor Chomsky blessed him. I don't know if he supported the thesis, but he certainly supported the right of this guy to speak. So I take my hat off to him again. So when I say I disagree with him respectfully, I really mean that. Yes, we disagree on economic issues. We certainly disagree on whether it's consensual having a purchase or a sale between a rich and a poor person. I disagree with him there. But I revere him in many other areas.